What you cooking, Mom?
Fucking cut.
Now I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go purchase one. That's the problem.
This ain't for me. I was like,
the background is mom and dad was addicted to crack cocaine. Right?
All praises to the Most High. How are you? Welcome to another episode of the Doc Holliday Show, where we love to uplift black men, black woman, black teen, black child, black royalty, and I am joined by true black royalty. A black royalty, one of the reasons why I even went to play football at Memphis State, the University of Memphis. My guy, my brother, Elliot Perry. EP, what's up, man? I don't know if you shake hands. I don't know what you do.
What up,
okay,
Doc?
what up,
How you
EP?
doing,
How you doing, man?
It's good to finally be here. I know you've been trying to get me for a long time, and looked like you thought I stiff armed you.
I did. Hey, look, hey, I'm gonna tell you, I thought he stiff armed me. I'm like, okay, EP, it's like that, bro. We supposed to be brothers. You ain't gonna hit your. You did hit me back. You like, Doc, I'm bullshit.
Too much history, too much respect, and so I fumbled a little bit, but hey, shit, I recovered. I
appreciate you, man. Now, EP, now I know about you, man. Give the people who, everybody know about you, but since this is like worldwide, give the people a synopsis, a brief overview of Elliot Perry, where you from, man, your history and your background.
Yeah. If people know me, obviously I'm from Memphis. Grew up in North Memphis and went to Treadwell High School. Then went on to the University, which was Memphis State at the time, went on there, played 4 years there, and then, was blessed enough to have a 10-year career in the NBA. A lot of that, Doc, is, people always talk about the successes, but, I really look back and think about where I came from, North Memphis, and I say this with the utmost respect. I learned more. My community helped me more than it hurt me. People think when you come from a low-income community, you're not exposed to a lot of things. You don't have a lot of money. You don't have a lot of those things. But I think my community taught me a lot, and that's to, not quit. If you get knocked down, you get back up. You had to, you probably grew up that way. You had to, hey, you got to fight. You gotta, be ready really to answer the bell. And I'm most grateful for all the people who poured into my career and my life.
Now, talking about that, because we grew up in the inner city, man, just talk about the challenges. Because I like this show because I like for us to see strong black men and black women who have overcome challenges, because we got this. We pretty much all going through the same thing, man. Yeah. Just talk about your background and your upbringing and how you had to maneuver your way, man, to not go down the wrong road.
I'll start with my mom was, I think I've told this story before, but my mom was 15 years old when she had me, and my father died a month after I was born. So I was born in March, and my dad died in April, and he was a teenager too, and so I always say I grew up in a community that liked to take hold of its young people and just kind of hold them and squeeze them until ultimately they conform. It's so many, you could think about so many talented people that come out of your community really that never made it. It's because, either the community forced them to conform to its ways. They started doing some things that they shouldn't have done. They got exposed to some things that they shouldn't have gotten exposed to. For me, I was fortunate enough to have the support of my family, but more importantly, I had a mentor who mentored me, and that was Michael Tony. That was somebody who, when I was in the 5th grade, started talking with me, man, and honestly, Doc started asking me some questions. Where was I going to college, and how was I doing in school, and all of those things. This was before I was a good basketball player, and from that, man, he just kept challenging me and helping me realize that, look, you can reach and do whatever you want to do, but first you got to embrace the process. And that's what I try to get young people to see, is really embracing that process of you got to go through the ups and downs. You can't take the shortcut. And I always say this, and you can relate to this, is in every neighborhood there's always a shortcut.
Yes, sir.
We're going to make a shortcut somewhere.
Yeah.
But I think, and that's to get to that other location quicker. But in life, I just think that when you take the long way around, you learn some things. And when you're learning those things, you're able to apply those things when you do get to your destination. And so, that's just kind of in a nutshell, Doc, where I come from, how I grew up, and there were a lot of people who, when I say poured into my life, I'm not talking about just the teachers and pastors and my mentor. A lot of times, honestly, man, some cats on the corner.
Yeah.
Who I always wanted to go up there and stand with those cats and kick it with those cats. And I had a lot of guys, Ronnie Sims, Ray Sims. They were brothers, Melvin Patton, Fred Baskin, all of these cats who said, no, and that's when I was becoming a better basketball player. Nah, we get away from here, You got somewhere to go. You got a destination. And I think they believed in me more than I believed in myself at that time.
I'm so glad you shared it, because that's why I was going next, because a lot of times we have athletic ability, but still some of us, like I tell people, man, I know cats that can hoop, man, probably out-hoop the majority of dudes in the NBA, and who can play football better than the majority of dudes in the NFL, but they decided to choose the street life. Right. So even though you was good in sports, you could have easily chosen not to listen to them and still stood on the corner and lived their life. What made you say, okay, I'm going to listen to y'all, man. I'm going to take this path and help, use my athletic abilities other than going the street route like a lot of other of us do?
I'm going to go back to my mentor, Michael Tony. Mm-hmm. Again, that's why I think for me personally, being a mentor is an obligation. It's something that I have to do, is to really pour into our young men. But I'll go back to Michael Tony. Again, he started asking me all these questions about where was I going to college. I mean, nobody in my family went to college. I mean, what are you talking about? And I think he started to expose me to a lot of things. He was a freshman at Memphis State at the time. And one of the first iterations in exposure he gave me was he asked me to come ride with him. Went to the Memphis State campus, and he was in summer school. And I sat in a summer school class with him. Clearly, that's boring to me.
Yeah.
Like, man, I don't want to be here, man. What are you doing, man? I ain't trying to. But I think, in an indirect way, he was really trying to expose me to, like, hey, this is possible. I'd never been to Germantown at that time. Drove me out to Germantown, showed me, way people were living and what was happening. And so just that exposure and challenging me and pushing me to say, like, you can do anything you want to do, but first you got to embrace that process. And this is the greatest lesson he taught me, Doc. And I've done this to my daughter as well. I think I mentioned this to you one time on the news, but man, I was struggling, I probably in the 6th grade or something like that, just struggling in school, struggling with, whatever. And, and he's constantly trying to encourage me. And he said, let me show you something. Come here. He took me to a mirror, and I think I told you this. He put me in front of the mirror, and he said, you see that little boy looking back at you? Everything you need to know in life, he's going to be the first one to tell you. He's going to be the first one to tell you when to quit. He's going to be the first one to tell you, hey, let's grind this thing out. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? Don't quit. He's going to be the first one to tell you, if you can win, if you get knocked down, to get back up, all of those things. And he said, like, that's who you're in competition with, When he tells you to quit, it's over. You know what I'm saying? And we kill a lot of our dreams because either we're fearful or either we're listening to that voice in our head that tell us we can't, because we hear that so much.
Yeah.
Man, even in your own family sometimes, you know what I'm saying, you hear what you can't be. Man, tell me what I can be. And that's what I love most about my mentor is he was telling me what I could be. And he was dousing all of those fears and really feeding my dreams. And so I think that lesson has always stuck with me in terms of, being able to compete with myself and being able to know, like, man, I got enough confidence in myself that, I can accomplish anything. And a lot of that came with the knee pad I had in college as well.
Yeah, we're gonna get, and that's why I'm going next, because straight ball. I can't say enough about what you did at Treadwell. Just a legend. You just started, then you go to Memphis State. I'm watching from a distance now, just a little young kid in Whitehaven, because I was a huge Memphis State basketball fan. I was like, okay, Andre Turner gone.
Yeah, Drake.
You know what I'm saying? I said, okay. So I'm watching you, and you become just straight legendary, man. But everybody is not blessed with athletic ability. Some people are, and you were, but not only that. it's that dog and that determination and that drive you had, man, to make you one of the best to ever play at Memphis State and even one of the best to ever come out of the city of Memphis. Talk about that knee pad since you brought it up, man, and what it meant and what was on it.
Well, that knee pad was a reminder, really. I had a great freshman year, won freshman of the year in the Metro Conference. And my sophomore year, I was struggling a little bit, people were boxing ones. I mean, they were throwing everything but the kitchen sink at me. And I remember I was in my dorm room and I was reading a Sports Illustrated, and it's like a little small article that said it was talking about just players, and the article read, if you take the greatest player in the world and you take one thing away from the greatest player in the world, he or she can become average. And if you take an average player and you give that average player one thing, they can become great. And that word was confidence. And confidence, and it's at the end of the article, it said confidence is the key. That jumped out at me, like crazy. And that day, Steve Miller, who was our trainer, I had him write confidence is the key on my knee pad as a reminder that, if you take Jordan, the greatest player, and you take his confidence away, he can become average. Mm-hmm. And you take an average player and you give him all the confidence in the world, they can become great. And so when I put that on my knee pad, it was a reminder that all I needed to do was just look down when I was struggling, that you got to have confidence in yourself, E. This next shot going in, you know. And so happened that when the game he wrote the knee pad on, we were in South Carolina. That was the first time I broke out the knee with the writing on it. Uh-huh. And I had gone to Coach Finch on the road, and I said, man, look, bring me off the bench. Let's shake this thing up.
Really?
Coach. Yeah, I go to Coach Finch's room. I said, bring me off the bench. Let's shake this thing up. I'm struggling a little bit. Maybe I can find, something coming off the bench or whatever. And Coach Finch said, never. I'm riding with you through and through. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Don't come to me with that. And so I broke the knee pad out that night in South Carolina, and I hit a game-winning shot that night in South Carolina. Hit the last second shot with no time on the clock. And rest was history, Doc. I mean, I just, again, I say all that to say things don't just happen; they happen just. Mm-hmm. And having that confidence in myself was a reminder with that knee pad. But more importantly, Coach Finch had confidence in me too. That, man, I'm riding with you, and that gave me that, that little boost.
Now, and you're not here because you're a great basketball player and a great sports legend, man. I mean, I admire all of that, but I know it's much more than that. But before we get to what you're doing now and the great things you're doing that's not even sports related, that's all about uplifting our youth, people see Elliot Perry, great basketball star, 10-year NBA career, man. You really did your thing everywhere you went, but you really got your notoriety at Phoenix.
Right.
But talk about that journey to get there, bro. They don't understand the bus rides and all that. Yeah. Talk about that journey to get to the NBA that a lot of cats don't know that you had to deal with and go through.
Yeah, here's my journey. I was a second-round draft pick by the Clippers. I was 37 pick by the Clippers. I go to LA early. Man, I'm gonna go up here, work out, get my guy with Charles Smith, Olden Polynice, all them guys. I'm in tip-top shape. I go to camp. I'm hooping in camp. I mean, I'm playing well. And I was, and the interesting thing was, I was one of the only second-round draft picks at that time that got a partial guaranteed contract. So most second-rounders at that time would get no guarantees. Yeah. And so, doing all that, and still got to make the team. Mm-hmm. So, I make the team. I mean, I'm Doc Rivers, rookie. I'm Danny Manning, rookie. I had to bring Doc Rivers a cup of coffee every morning and Danny Manning a USA Today every morning. Wasn't no big deal. Yeah. So we played the first 10 games of the season, and I can't remember who we played, but it was a road trip. And we come back off the road trip, and I got waived. So I leave L.A., go to La Crosse, Wisconsin. I play 2 games in La Crosse, Wisconsin, get called up by Charlotte. So I played my rookie season out in Charlotte, which was great. Muggsy Bogues, Dale Curry, all the guys had great teammates. Kendall Gill. And so I spent the next, really after that, I spent the next 2 seasons, really season and a half in the CBA. So I played for Rochester, Minnesota in the CBA for a full year. And I was really trying to get back to the league.
Yeah.
And I'm doing everything I can to get back to the league. And man, it didn't happen. So that next summer, I played for the Portland Trailblazers in the summer league. A guy named Greenberg. It's Seth Greenberg's brother, but I can't remember his first name. He called me. He said, "Man, hey, I need a point guard for my team in the summer league." I said, "Man, I need to play." He said, "Man, look, I'm not bringing in another point guard. Ball in your hand." Bet. They had just drafted Tracy Murray, Dave Johnson, them. So we had a nice squad. So we go to the summer league and win it. And when we were in the summer league, 2 things happened. Bruce Stewart, who was the coach in Grand Rapids, Michigan, they had just won the CBA championship the year before. He came to our practice. He said, "If I trade for you and you just so happen to go back to the CBA, I trade for your rights, would you come to play for me?" I said, "Man, get me out of Rochester. Absolutely, I come play for you. No question, Bruce." So Bruce traded for my rights in the CBA. And then that same summer, before we won the summer league, but right before the championship game in the summer league, Lionel Hollins come up to me. I didn't know Train at the time.
Yeah.
He come up to me. He said, "Man," he the assistant coach in Phoenix. He said, "Who represents you?" I told him Jimmy Sexton represent me. That was it. Long story short, I try back out with Portland. I make it all the way. I'm trying out with Portland that year. I make it all the way to the last cut. Basically, they tell me right before the last cut, I'm good.
Yeah.
So we got a game the next day. Mm-hmm. I got my luggage. I got everything. Round about, I say probably 1:30 in the morning. I'm in the hotel. My phone ring.
Ain't never a good thing. Yeah.
So I pick up the phone. I can't remember his first name, but it's Greenberg or whatever. It is what it is, EP. Man, you got caught up in the numbers. Man, we're going to have to let you go. Got your plane ticket for tomorrow, Hey, play well, man. Just got caught up in the numbers. Okay, cool. So I get my plane ticket. I'll leave the next day, come home for a minute. Regroup, head to Grand Rapids, Michigan. Bruce Stewart. So I get to Grand Rapids, Michigan, and I'm going the long way around, Doc.
No, it's called, man. This is what it's about, bro.
I get to Grand Rapids, Michigan, and they got a nice. We got a nice squad, and so they had a guy out there named Carlton. I can't remember his last name.
Not Carlton Banks. Not
Carlton Banks. He's starting.
Yeah.
And we got another guy there named Reggie Jordan, who basically is the Jordan of the CBA. Mm-hmm. So Carlton Banks, man, really. He all right.
Yeah.
And so about the 5th game of the season, I was always coming to the gym early. I come to the gym early. Bruce Stewart told me, "Come in my office." So I come in Bruce Stewart's office, and he look at me. He say, "You ready?" I mean, it is what it is. I mean, because I'm not starting,
Yeah.
He reach under his desk, he grab a basketball and give it to me. Ball in your hands. Starting point guard tonight. Bet. So he come out, he tell everybody, whatever, we got to change in the lineup. We're going to start Elliot. Now Reggie Jordan moved to the 2. Reggie Jordan left-handed, he can hoop. Then at the 3, we had a guy named Jeff Martin who played at Murray State. Mm-hmm. He was a first-round draft pick of the Clippers. He was down in the CBA. At the 4, we had a guy named Aaron Williams who ended up left-hand guy who ended up playing with having a long career with Utah and some other teams. And then at the 5, we had Bo Outlaw.
Big Bo.
So we go on a run. I mean, right now we 5 games to the season. We go on a run, 14, 15 games straight. We rolling. And so, we had a game that day. I'm coming from the game with my roommate, guy who played at Cincinnati. I'm coming from the game with him, and we eating Subways and everything. You know what I'm saying? We just eating whatever. And we get to the apartment. We just had shoot around. We get back to the apartment. Bruce Stewart in front of our apartment. It's snowing. You know, throwing his hands up. Damn, what's going on? So we get out of the car. He said, hey, you just got called up to Phoenix. Let's go. We got to go get on the phone and get you out of here. I said, what? So I get on the phone with the people in Phoenix. Lady talking, whatever. When can you be here?
Yesterday.
Put me on the,
yeah.
Put me on the next thing smoking.
Mm-hmm.
So they put me on a red eye that night, headed to Phoenix. I got whatever clothes I could get, told my boy, y'all can have that. I ain't coming back.
Yeah.
It was like some catbird stuff like that. And that same day, Reggie Jordan got called up to the Clippers. So our backcourt we gone. So I get to Phoenix and we got a shooter. We got a game that day. I get there about 2:00 in the morning. I can't sleep. I'm restless. I'm in the hotel, walking distance from the arena. I get up in the morning. I know we got 10 o'clock shoot around. So I get over there about 9. Sign the contract, 10-day contract, whatever. And so I go down to the court, and I'm just down there shooting, you know. Man, you got Kevin Johnson come down. You got AC Green. You got Dan Marley, Barkley, all these boys coming down. Why I've been watching on TV. And so I talk with Westfall a little bit, and then Westfall said, bring it in. Hey, we just picked up Elliot Perry out of CBA. This our starting point guard tonight.
Ooh.
I said, whoa, coach. He said, yeah. You know, because they were bringing Frank Johnson off the bench. He said, yeah. So I said, okay, whatever. So I'm in the lineup, Doc. And so walking back to the hotel after shoot around, man, I'm talking about, I'm literally, Doc, no lie, I'm literally like just thanking God, just like, man, I'm talking about tears in my eyes, everything, you know, because I know, man, I ain't take no shortcuts.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what I've been asking for, God, because when I was in the CBA, I used to say this, no lie. Lord, if I could ever just be back in the warm-up line in the NBA, I'll be good, you know. And so, man, I'm praying. I'm nervous at the same time. Then eat pregame, do all that, coming back to the arena, man. I'm still praying. Like, man, this is crazy, you know. And you know, started. We played Portland Trailblazers. Started, played well. I think I had like 4 or 6 points, and I had double-digit assists though. I had 10 assists or whatever. We beat Portland, playing against Terry Porter. I mean, these all guys I'm seeing. And played my 10-day contract out. Got signed to another 10-day contract. And then 3 days into that contract, I come in the locker room. We got a game. I think we're playing Sacramento. I come in the locker room. I see Jerry Colangelo. Damn. I say, I want to see you in the trainer's office, LA. I said, shit. I already know what that is.
Yeah.
I'm getting ready to get waived. So he come in there, man. He got my contract in his hand. He rip it up in my face. Slide me a new contract. I'm gonna sign you for the year. Okay, now I can go out here and play. So I do that and have a good year. And so the next year, that summer, I'm thinking, it's a lock. I'm going back and, it's a lock. I read they signed Winston Garland to a guaranteed contract. So I had my agent call them like, man, what the hell? And so, it is what it is. He said, but he's like, hey, Elliot free to come to camp and try out if you want to or whatever. And I was just telling a young cat this. I said, sometimes you just gotta take risks and make a bold move. So man, I prayed about that thing, Doc, and I told my boy Eric Givers, my good friend, I said, man, look, if I come back, I'm come back with meat under my fingernails like that. But before that, this was an interesting thing, Doc. Before that, I called Colangelo out of the blue. I just wanna rap with you for a minute. So I asked him 3 things. I said, did I do a good job? You know, you know, what about Winston that's different about me? You know, like whatever.
Yeah.
And you know, do I have the ability to get the job done? He was like, yeah. You know, hey, you got to realize this a game of numbers. This a game of risk. This a game of calculation. You know, he got more experience than you, but he don't have. You know, his talent ain't. I can't say he got more talent than you, but he got more experience than you. Whatever. Hell, I'm coming back. So I go back. This when it gets to me. This where God, grace and mercy, and going through the process and really navigating my life starts. I go back. We got 5 guards in camp, you know, including Kevin Johnson. We got Winston Garland. We got Anthony Goldwire. We got another dude who was there. I can't remember his name from UCLA, USC. I'm sorry, he was there, and then me. So I tell Goldwire, I'm going in all guns blazing. So whatever you do, you know, we boys, but when we hit that floor, we compete and Goldwire. But me and Goldwire and I were like this. So first few, you know, training camp, we in Flagstaff, Arizona. You know, we hooping, whatever, 2-a-days, whatever. And so about the 3rd day of training camp, no, I take that back, Doc. So we up there for a week. Then we come back and we practice at our own facilities. So about when we get back from Flagstaff, about the 2nd day back in our facility, man, I have worst practice I ever had in my life. I mean, man, I'm talking about, this was the worst practice, the worst practice I ever had in my life. So when practice over, I go back upstairs. Shit, it's over. Walking back to the hotel, tears. I didn't even shower or nothing. I just threw on my stuff, walking back to the hotel. And so during my year there, when I was with the 10 days the year before, I made friends with this guy called the Juggler. He was a guy who juggled on the streets. He was a homeless guy. Man, I used to give him money all the time, have great conversations with him, invite him to games. I mean, man, sit in my seats, you know what I'm saying? And he called me Commander Perry. You know, we just struck up a good friendship and eat lunch with him sometimes. Just, man, he's just good people. You know, he telling me about his life, how he got there. Yeah. He come to Phoenix every year, but he jump on the train. He was from Boston, whatever. So when I'm walking back home, when I'm walking back to the hotel after this bad practice, I see him. So I'm walking towards him. I don't want to deal with none of this today. I ain't got time or the patience for none of this. So I'm reaching in my pocket. I get up to him. I'm reaching in my pocket. You know what I'm saying, man? I'm gonna cut this short. You know what I'm saying, man? Get this man $10, $20, whatever.
Yeah.
He was always enthusiastic. Hey, Commander Perry, how you doing today? You know, it's good to see you. That was he said that damn near every time. Nah, man, not a good day for me, man. I ain't really got it, Juggler. You know, whatever. You know, he was like, well, you know what? It's not a good day for me either. You know, and you know what? Some days you win some and you lose some. And so, whatever. So I take off walking to the hotel, and like this the epiphany. God just like like a light came on over my head, and I get emotional because that's my boy. A light came on over my head, and it said, if dude can have that kind of person, if dude can have that kind of attitude, this a man who homeless. He's sleeping on the street. If he can have that kind of attitude, man, some days you win some and you lose some. Surely you can. And I'm talking about literally, man, my whole attitude changed. Man, went to the hotel, showered up. We had a practice that we scrimmaged every night. Had a practice that night. Went out, hooped, you know, did my thing. And so training camp coming down to an end. We start preseason. We play these preseason games. And it's me and Winston Garland going at it. So we got 3 preseason games left. We got one preseason game where coach say, hey, we're gonna start KJ the first quarter. After that, KJ ain't gonna play no more. So Winnie, you gonna start the second quarter. EP, you gonna start the third quarter. Winnie, you gonna start the fourth quarter. All right. The next to the last game, no KJ. Winnie, you gonna start. EP, you gonna start the second quarter. Winnie, you gonna start the third. EP, you gonna start the fourth. Bet. So this coming to an end, Doc. The last game. So we playing the last game against the Clippers at where's the University of Arizona in
Tempe? Is it no,
Tempe?
not,
So wherever.
Yeah, something like that.
So
no, Arizona. I don't know. That's a good question.
So we got a preseason game there against the Clippers there at the University of Arizona Stadium. So we driving up there. We on the bus. It's morning time. We on the bus. So I said, man, this it. You know, it's the last one, whatever. And so we take off, we riding, right? And Ainge come jump in my seat. We all got seats. Ainge come jump in my seats. Hey, EP, don't worry about nothing. You good. What you talking about, Ainge? He said, I just talked to Kevin McHale. He was general manager in Minnesota at the time. He want Phoenix to cut you right now so he can go ahead and sign you to a guaranteed contract. Now, you good. So I'm getting ready to get on the phone with Jimmy. Yeah. Tell these people, man, call Colangelo and them, tell them to cut me right now. I'm not playing this last preseason game when I got guaranteed. Let's go get this done, Jimmy. I told Ainge that. Ainge said, no. Go ahead and play the last preseason game, man. You good. You got a job. Just go and play. I said, man, Ainge, anything can happen. I said, man, don't think like that, man. Just go play, EP. You've been doing good, man. Go compete. So I bet. I ain't going to call Jimmy.
Danny Ainge, right? For
Danny
people that
Ainge.
know. Danny Ainge.
Danny Ainge. So I go out there. I hoop. Play well that night. And so, again, I'm coming to the end.
No, it's all good, bro. I love it. They love it. That's what I'm talking about.
So the next day, so we drive back home that night. The next day, that night he said, well, we got a 10 o'clock practice. Don't nobody come early. You know, usually people come early. Don't come early. Just come at 10. We ain't gonna do much. Bet. So we get to practice, throwing our stuff. So we walking downstairs, coming to the practice facility in Phoenix, right? So it's a table over in the corner. You got Lionel Hollins, Scotty Robinson, who's old coach, and Westfall. All three of them sitting at the table, right? And so we get down there, we just kind of shooting around. So Westfall tell Barkley, hey, Barkley go over there, sit down, talk for about 5 minutes or so. Barkley get up, KJ. You know, KJ, Danny Ainge, Dan Marley, AC Green, Danny Manning, Wayman Tisdale, all Joe Klein, Mark West, all these boys. So goal wide now we shooting on the side basket. Hell going on over there.
But you're paying attention though, and
yeah, there's something going on over there. Go wide, and right.
Yeah.
So yeah, something's going down. So last person get over there. Westfall, bring it in. Practice over. You know, everybody upstairs. Everybody, it's over. Coker, Mackey, Goldwire, Garland, Perry, upstairs. Oh, shit. So we go upstairs. We're sitting in the locker room. They bring Big Coker in the office. Coker come out, man. Boy, wave me, man. I appreciate this. Man, I hate that Coke. All right. Mackey come out, man. Forgot me, EPS. Goldwire go in there. Man, I'm gone, EP, man. Forgot me. I said, hold on, Goldwire. I'm going to walk over to the hotel with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It is what it is. So Garland go in there. So Garland come out, you know. Congratulations, EP. I said, nah, I ain't shaking no hand, man.
Yeah.
Winnie. You know, Winnie, they ain't told me nothing.
Yeah.
Know? So I go in there. And you got the three coaches. Westfall look at Scotty Robinson, old coach we had. He about 60-something at the time. He all yours, Scotty. Now, mind you, throughout all training camp, Scotty been on my ass.
Yeah, hard, probably.
I can't do nothing right. If I do it well, it ain't good enough. If I do it bad, he on me. We scrimmage every night. He coached my team every night. You know, I mean, cursing at me, man, pulling on my jersey, man. I mean, just even in preseason games, you know, I got to sit beside Scotty. You know, he get me. I'm like, man. And I told Gold why, man, this man hate me. Gold why. Hey, I'm thinking about fine on Scotty. I'm not gonna lie. He was like, damn, EP, yeah, that man be on you, man.
That Memphis stuff, huh? You want to spring on it, dog?
I said, man, this man hate me.
Yeah.
So normally when Westfall said he all yours, Scotty, I already knew. I'm out of here. This man hate me. So Scotty leaned up. He say, I did everything I could, everything to break you, to make you get out of character, to make you say something, to shoot your confidence down, to do everything. You came back every day. If you so an inch, if you don't play this way every day, you out of here. I said, hold on, Scotty, what you saying? You saying I'm in? I got a lot of respect for you. If you're going to have a long career, this the way you're going to have a long career. You can't let up at all. You didn't back down from nobody. And I tried to do everything I could to break you. I love it. Shh. Westfall didn't give me nothing. Hollins didn't give me nothing. And KJ go down the first 2 games of the season. I start 60 games that season. And the rest was history, Doc.
Yeah, it is.
Got a long-term contract out of that. So, you know, again, that's a long way around of saying, you know, one thing my grandfather used to say, it was his favorite saying was, grandson, finish the race and see what the end gonna be. You know, you can't win no race. You can't win no race when it first start, but you damn sure can lose it, you know. And so that was his way of saying, man, hey, you're gonna go through your ups and downs. You're gonna go through your ins and outs, but you don't know what at the end of the rainbow, you don't know what's there for you. You know what I'm saying? You got to get there. You know, so that was my career in a nutshell. Obviously, I went on to play 9 more years after that.
And I mean, I love it because that's what they need to hear, man. Because not only the basketball part, now you part owner, man. You do the art, you do all these other great things, and you mentor people. So, and what I tell people, man, athletes are way more than just athletes, man. You could have just taken your money and your fame and your celebrity and said, I mean, EP ain't worried about nothing else, but you haven't done that. You pour back in the community, and you still pour back in the community, and you doing all these other great things, man. What inspires you to do that instead of just be like, I'm a celebrity? Because you king around here, bro. You king. No, bro. That's nothing but love and respect for Elliot Perry, man. But you've never been that guy. You've always been humble. You've always been you, and you pouring into it. And for the young people that's listening and black people, people that's listening, period, man, the mentality you had to go through all of that and to still believe in yourself and to do the things that you're doing now, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I put it this way, Doc. I think my city and people have poured into me, and God's grace and mercy on my life, just in general, has really guided and helped me navigate through a lot of things. People pouring into my life, and I will say to young people is, you gotta be available and teachable and open, and that's when I say open, I'm saying open to praise, which all of us are, but you gotta be open to criticism too. Those things are going to help you get better. And there is a such thing as constructive criticism, you know what I'm saying? And, getting young people to really understand, everybody make mistakes in life. I was 14 at one time, in the hood, you know what I'm saying? Getting into being mischievous, doing all kind of stuff, and somebody pulled me to the side. And so, I mentioned that I feel like, all these things have come my way not because I deserve them, and not because I try to go and go get these things. Grizzly ownership, working for the NBA Players Association when I initially retired, working with the Popular Foundation now in education, and doing the Grizzlies radio, kind of all of those different things. I wasn't trying to do any of those things, but I think through networking and through trying to be a decent person, establishing relationships, and being open to being uncomfortable, being in places where I'm the minority, being in places where, man, I don't know what the hell these folks talking about, but I'm gonna listen and I'm gonna learn. And if I listen long enough and learn long enough and ask enough questions, I'll get it. And I think people have mentored me in a lot of different ways, and that goes from Coach Finch, Coach Curry in high school to Coach Finch in college. And Coach Finch was really kind of a huge advocate for me in terms of saying to me, and this is what changed my outlook on community. Can I give you one more story, Doc?
No, there's as many stories as you want to give. No, I love it, bro.
This is one of my favorite stories.
Yeah.
Right at the beginning of the season hadn't started. We just started conditioning and all that. Right at the beginning of my sophomore year. South Hall.
Yeah, South Hall, man, no doubt. It's a spot.
So I'm coming back over the tracks. David Gertlich could tell me Coach Finch want to see me in the office. Damn. Trying to think. Okay, I know I went to class. Okay, I know man, want to see me for?
Yeah.
So I said, I bet. So I didn't go to do. I beeline right over to Coach Finch's office. So I get in Coach Finch's office, and he say, "Look here, man. I think you got the disposition, the personality, the attitude. I think you got all the things to be a real asset to our community." I'm 18.
Yeah.
I just finished my freshman year hooping.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm, man, I don't want to hear all that, Coach Finch. Where the girls at? You know,
Exactly.
I'm just being honest with you, man. I'm trying to, you know what we trying to do.
Exactly, yeah.
So, he telling me all of this. And I said, okay, I ain't really understanding. He's like, man, look, I want you to begin to think about being more than just a Memphis State basketball player, and really, really using your platform to enhance our community and help people and galvanize people, whatever. And he said, I want you to meet somebody who can spell it out better than I can. And so he go out his office, come back in. He got Benjamin Hooks with him.
Yeah.
Now, this is my first time meeting. I know Mr. Hooks.
Mm-hmm.
This is my first time meeting. And so that's, to me, I will never forget the day. That's like meeting Martin Luther King to me.
Yeah.
And he sat me down, beautiful conversation, you know what I'm saying? But I'm in awe though, like I'm like, man, I'm out of my body sitting, you know what I'm saying, sitting next to me like.
Yeah.
And talked about the civil rights movement. We talked about a lot of things, but he was really trying to encourage me that, Coach Finch sees something in you. Mm-hmm. And we do too. And to me, that, if I'm not gonna say it forced me, but it convinced me that, okay, you got a platform. How you gonna use it?
Yeah.
You got something that people want. You got a voice. How you gonna use it? And from then on, I just started, really saying, hey, look, I'm gonna pour into my community. If I'm only known, if every time somebody say Elliot Perry name, if all they can think about is basketball, then I've done something wrong. You know what I'm saying? And so again, all of these other things have come to me as a byproduct of, trying to do things the right way, and not that I don't make any mistakes. I love there's a verse in the Bible that says, I see and approve of the good things, but the evil things I do. And so in other words, it's saying, as good as you want to be and as much as you think you are, you prone to mistakes.
Yes, sir.
You filthy rags.
There isn't a man that sinneth not. You right, bro.
And what it does is allow me to really humble myself beneath the feet of the most common of men, because I feel like, and I don't want to sound cryptic or nothing like this, Doc, but the closer I get to God, it reveals every flaw that I have, you know. And so when I say I'm filthy rags, when you get closer to the Most High, it's showing you,
Nothing.
man, you ain't nothing.
Well,
Nothing.
well,
And without my grace and my mercy, dog, you done. And so I try to, you know, live like that, Doc. And then this is the last thing I'll say on this for your next question is I also try to live by the 95-5 rule. And what I mean by that is most people, Doc, worry their ass off. I grew up in a household, man. My grandmother, man, she worrying about something every day. You know, they can worry. I mean, they. And so what I realize is in life is, when I say 95-5 rule, I say 90% of the things we worry about, they never happen. Man, we can worry our ass off, man, and man, it didn't happen. I mean, you know, it never happened. 5% of the things we worry about, if we're patient, they self-correct. Man, how I was gonna get out of that, but man, that thing worked out. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. That thing worked out. And then the other 5%, man, hey, it's life. You got to deal with it. You got to, you know, it's through confrontation sometimes that you got to deal with some of those things. And so sometimes just being patient and being quiet and being, again, open to, you know, just being quiet and is sometimes stuff just works itself out. And so I try to live by that rule as well.
man, great advice, great story. I appreciate you sharing, man. And look, bro, don't make no apologies to me. I just enjoy talking to you, man. Man, it's YouTube, this TV, man. Yeah, you can talk as long as you want to, man. But anything else you feel like you want to add or need to add, he brought that water for you too, man. ISF Productions, if you want to get an EP. But anything else you want to add, man, you think the people need to hear, man?
I mean, I'll be honest with you, man. I'm a big advocate for mentoring, and this is just a sort of a shameless personal plug.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead, bro.
But so I've been like chair of the Grizzlies Foundation for 5 years now, and really our platform has been mentoring. That's partnering with organizations who mentor. And then we run our own mentoring program called Team Mentoring, where we pair 3 adults with 6 boys or 6 girls or whatever, like if it's three women, and you're a team, and so you meet once a week or whatever, and so I've been doing that for like 7 years or so, team mentoring, and I can tell you some hella stories of some young men that I've come in contact with that's brilliant, smart, passionate about what they want to do, and then I fast forward to this year. So we did mentoring this year via Zoom, and so you got to think kids were going to school online for 8 hours or whatever. They were Zooming for 8 hours or whatever. Then on Tuesdays as soon as you get offline, boom, you sign back in to mentor for another hour.
Yeah.
So I realized, man, it exposed that our kids dealing with so much shit.
Yes.
And I'm talking about mental baggage. I had one kid in my mentoring with us, the second year with me. I put anything on him. I know he gonna succeed, and I still believe he gonna succeed. I know he gonna succeed. But he was logging in I ain't here. And I'm like, man, what's up with my boy? Because he's very vocal, whatever. And then all of a sudden he just stopped. Dude, So I called his mom, just trying to catch up with him. But I say all that to say is, I think now, when you talk about volunteers and mentors, we need mentors more than anything in the world now, because the pandemic highlighted all of the baggage our kids really were dealing with. But now they couldn't come to school and be around their peers. They were doing this online in solitude, so to speak. I'm zoning out.
Yeah.
You had some kids who were not signing in, not for mentoring, but for school, just in general. And so I just, plead to our community that we just need more volunteers. And just think if somebody had not poured into your life, somebody had not grabbed a dock and showed you something, somebody who didn't challenge you, or somebody, and that could be a pastor, and there's so many ways to mentor, and so like I said, if people want to sign up, I say go to grizzliesfoundation.org, click mentoring, and we're gonna pay you with whether you want to do team mentoring, whether you want to mentor with big brothers, big sisters. If somebody passionate about juvenile kids, I mean, we partner with JIF. Juvenile Intervention Faith-Based Follow-Up. That's a program that these are all teenagers, man. They're in the system, but before we put you in jail, we're going to send you through JIF.
Gotcha, yeah.
And you got to complete this program, then you good. And so, we got women programs. We have refugee programs and REP, refugee empowerment program, where a lot of the refugees who come to our city, Cam and her staff, get them in school, talk with their parents, kind of all those stuff, and then help mentor. So there are so many different avenues. We got organizations like Memphis Athletic Ministry, Streets Ministries, all of those organizations who are running mentoring programs. It's so many ways that you can plug in and for the right fit for you. If you want to do the team mentoring thing, so if you miss a day, Doc, we got you.
Yeah.
If I have to miss a day, it don't mean the kids don't get that person. And so, man, I just, short of pleading with our community that our young people need us to be mentors and share our experiences with them, share our shortcomings with them, be vulnerable with them, and then more importantly, man, shit you doing, we did.
Yeah, exactly.
You it's a different way y'all doing it, but I get it, and I tell this. Let me give you one story. Doc.
Go ahead, brother. Yeah, go ahead. Eat peace.
This is a mentoring
I'm
story.
loving it.
This
Yes, sir. Let's
story.
go.
This is a mentoring story. I got this young kid, left-handed here, hooper. He and my mentor thing, funny, he charismatic, he can play, So, he in the 7th grade, and his dad get killed. So he make it through school that year. In 7th grade, he make it through school that year. He up and down, but man, we wrapping our arms around him, man. We trying to keep him, he have his good days, bad days, or whatever. So he get in the 8th grade, and one day I get a call from the school, and you got to come up here. This man going ham. What? So I leave my office, drive to Grizzlies Prep. I come in. He ain't having it. So they throw us in a room. Man, cut the bullshit, man. What's going on?
Yeah.
Man, I don't want to deal with none of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Man, what's up? I ain't hell with all that other what we do on the mentoring side with everybody in the room. This me and you. So he said, this the day my dad got killed. So right there, gut punch.
Yeah.
So I say to him, I said, ain't nothing I can say to that, you know. And man, I'm a love on you. You know what I'm saying? I completely understand. I said, man, you talking to somebody who I ain't never seen my dad. So I get it. And then I asked him, I said, if your dad was living and if he was here, would you be acting this way? I mean, saying, would you just act out in school in general like that? No, my dad ain't go. I knew it, you know, my dad ain't going for that. And this ain't just somebody who coming from no broken home. I got my mom and dad in the house. You know what I'm saying? Dad, my dad ain't going for that, you know. And so I said, man, what better way to honor your dad than to do what you're supposed to do? If you wanna honor somebody, if you wanna honor your dad, this the time to do it. All that what you doing in school, that ain't what your dad wanna see, looking down, wanna see from his kid. I said, what if a coach told you, you know what I'm saying, you bullshitting, blase, get on the line. Sick of this bull. Give me push-up, get on the line. Talking crazy to you, what you gonna do? He said, I'm gonna get on the line. I said, essentially, that's what your teacher's telling you. Now, they ain't telling you like your coach gonna tell you, but you in the game, you at practice now. This school, they supposed to do what they're doing and trying to hold you accountable. Get on the line. This your job, you know? And I said, man, look, you're going to be great. And the only way you can be great is you got to go forward and you got to put forth the effort. Anybody can be a bum. It's hard to be great. And you can't be great if you don't put forth the effort. I ain't talking about basketball. I'm talking about life. So what I'm asking you to do is just like this. Go do what you're supposed to do, man. It's just that simple. Man, I know this is a tough day. I got tears in my eyes thinking about it, dog, but you got it. All the ingredients you need, God has already given them to you. Remember, I told you that, I tell y'all that all the time. He went on and did his thing. And so I'm just saying, like, that's a personal story of how we can run this relay of life with our young people is, you know, when I'm talking about a relay, Doc, I'm saying can't nobody run a relay by themselves. You try to run 4 legs by yourself. So what you do is you just run the best race you can when you got that baton. And ultimately you hand that baton off. And so I'm just saying, whatever time you spend in front of a young person, this your race. Run it the best you can, and it just may be for a season. Boom, I hand that off to somebody else. They got to run their race. And so, again, that's my shameless plug in terms of trying to convince people, you know, that, man, we need more volunteers. We need more people mentoring our young people. We need more people pouring into our young people to, you know, help convince them that, man, you can reach your full potential. God has given you everything you need. And it ain't got nothing to do with no A's and B's. This ain't got nothing to do with A's and B's. We want you to get A's and B's. That's all good. But I'm talking about, what's your gift? What's your gift? Honor that, you know? And so that's my shameless plug, Doc.
That's not shameless, man. I appreciate that, man. That's a great episode. Elliot Perry, I just want to thank you, brother.
Yes, sir.
For coming, chopping it up with your brother, man, and sharing, because it's some wonderful stories, man. You're a great human being. The man is really a great man. I ain't just saying it because he's sitting here. He is, man. That's why.
Filthy rags, Doc.
Filthy. I mean, we all. Hey, but look, hey, the Most High told Joshua to take them filthy rags up off Joshua. We're gonna put this royal garb on him. You know what I mean? So we all filthy rags, man. But you're living the life, man, being how the Most High wants you to be and how He programmed you to be, man, and that's encouraging, man. That's motivating. That's all these things, and I appreciate you for joining the show, bro.
Thank you for inviting me, man. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you, EP. That's gonna do it for another episode. Great episode of the Doc Holliday Show, where we love to uplift black men, black women, black teen, black child, black royalty. Thank Elliot Perry again. Until next time, all praises to the Most High. I'm out. That was outstanding. Appreciate it, man. No, dog, look, it ain't the same as blood.